So I thought it was about time I'd give you a update. It's Saturday evening, and what has happened today? Right, what has actually happened today is the fact that I decided that I was going to swap out these injectors. We had the inkling it was going to be like either number 1 or number 2 injector, so I had 2 injectors, brand spanking new, and what we thought we'd do is do the first one, do number 1, put one in there and bite the bullet and see if we can get rid of the fault. If the fault continued, we can possibly use that injector in number 2 to still save my other injector as a sort of like process of elimination. So I did that, and well, there's me. Before we go any further, everybody's sort of like telling me that oh, getting the injectors out, the injectors were not a problem. The problem was the clamp bolt for the injector clamp. Bolts down. So I'm kind of like, straight away, here we go then, right, socket on that, let's undo it, and hello, this is tight. This is really tight. This is really tight. The engine was hot at the time. I lurped more WD-40 in there, started sort of like, is it going to move? Is this never going to move? It was like, this is really tight. So, small punch, hammer, just trying to break the seal between the corrosion. So I kept on working. The first bolt was an hour and a half and it didn't come out. It snapped off. So, right, okay, what do we do from now? So it's the clamp comes in from the side, it slots onto the injector. So looking at it, there's another bolt on the other side that's symmetrical to the bolt they used. So I took that bolt out, and that bolt there, we put a stud. I put made some studs, 8mm stud in. We dropped the stud. Well, I say we, it was Joff. Put the stud in and 2 nuts, took it right down to the bottom. We had to, I had to literally get the right length so the clamp could go on, and then we could get a washer and a nut on it and pinch it back down. So that sorted the job out. So once I'd found out that little sort of like fix for the injector, anyway, so that number 2, it's got the fault, the OBD reader on it again, erased the faults, and it disappeared. Oh my god, that is really good news. So left it idling for a little bit, and ping, back up came the light. So well, the light came on after we changed the first injector, so obviously we knew it wasn't the first injector, so I'm going to go for the second injector, and obviously with the second hand injector. And anyway, so am I going to put in the second injector? I've got the second injector, let's go for it, let's put it in. So okay, so second injector used, and okay, here we go again, re-clear the fault, and it's gone again. Okay, it wasn't long, bing, check engine. I've decided, after sort of a lot of head scratching, maybe we should have, it's all a bit hindsight, and that situation where maybe I should have just took it to Fiat, and I don't know what went wrong, but So I've literally now said I need Fiat to diagnose this issue. I just cannot throw, I'm not going to throw another 2 injectors at it in the same problem. It might not even, the injectors may not even need changing. So but I was on the forums about these bolts. People were talking about these bolts. If you ever need to change the injectors, maybe from the word go, they're talking about removing these bolts and putting some anti-seize on the bolt so you can get them out if you ever need to. Because it's, and you know, are you going to buy a brand new motorhome and start taking the engine bolts apart just in case you have to change the injectors? Oh my God. So we're a little bit delusioned. I've made the decision, this vehicle, we're going to start stripping it out tomorrow, and you know, well, I've taken a lot of stuff out the garage, and I'm going to drop it to Fiat and say, get our personal items out, and so literally drop it off to Fiat and say, can you stop this light coming on? So that is the situation at the present time, just to keep you informed. So we're a little bit, you know, like, what do you buy? We're having the banter at Dieppe with John and Wendy. You know, what do we actually buy? You know, they got the Transit with a Chanson. You know, what do you like? What is the most reliable van? You know, 5 years, and you know, like these issues. Yeah, it might. They might turn around and say, we've just put an exhaust. I don't know. It might be that simple. We'll let you know as things progress out. We've actually, I came home and said to Caroline, I'm gonna go and have a quick look at a couple of vans. She's like, oh yeah? I'm like, I'm just, the kind of stuff that we do, where next is my issue or my Fiat going to be? I don't know. It might go on for another 5 years after that without any trouble. I'm just getting a little bit disillusioned with the Fiat. So that is the situation at the moment. I think tomorrow we'll probably be going up to Highbridge and starting to have a little, well, we keep talking about the situation with water ingress in motorhomes. It's everybody's like, not, you know, so are we better off getting a 6.8 meter van conversion and trying to maybe, actually Caroline is like, do you know what, maybe we need to be like doing this, like maybe we, you know, so there might be a change in direction on the hands. I don't know exactly. I'm going to have to start having a little look, I think, and get our heads into it a little bit and try and see what's out there. Any recommendations? Panel van, 7 meters, 6.8 meters, 7 meters. So like none of these like seams and bloody. So that's where it stands at the moment, guys. So it might be a whole new change of direction. Didn't think it was ever going to come. I'm kind of like, bam, like that's kind of smashing me in the face a little bit, like wow. So. But is it time to move on? Is it time to move on? We had them little issues. We've actually just come from Chelsea Motorhomes. I was so gagging for a drink. I went in. They've got drinks available there, so I went in and grabbed a bottle, and I said, "Look," and they were like, "Oh." Here's the bloke that wasn't giving us a very good feedback. But I'm kind of like, look, guys, like, I don't know, you know, look, I wasn't happy at the time. You get loads of complaints, like you get people complaining, you know. I've tried to, you know, Team Chelston, that's like, you know, and yeah, really tried to sort of like be like a loyal you know, I've been a good customer. I take my, you know, like, yeah, we always like support your shop and stuff. And yeah, so we went and had a quick look at a couple of their vans just to sort of start having a little look, scratch the surface a little bit. But at this stage of the game, I said to Caroline, don't think I'm ever going back. Okay, so I'll leave the video there, guys. I'll continue the video as the story maps out, and I'm just trying to sort of like put it over like my kind of honest opinion, and appreciate people like saying, Joff, you always like try and give your honest opinion and stuff, and that's, like I say, honest opinion. 5 years with a Bursner, absolutely living the bloody dream. Can we continue living the, you know, is it time for a change? Can we continue living the dream with someone else? Can we, what do you think? Leave us a comment. See you in the next video. Cheers for now, guys.